Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Janine and this is Janine Sews. In a previous video, I showed you a bunch of free patterns that I had found that would be suitable for Sew Frugal 23. And with Sew Frugal 23, in the month of March 2023, you use a free pattern and fabric from your stash and sew up something new for yourself. I have actually made 3 garments for Sew Frugal 2023, and in this video I'm going to show you what I've made. Project number 1 is this top that I'm wearing, and if you've watched my videos for a while you might actually recognize this. This top was my project for Sew Frugal last year. This is the Ensemble Grecco tee, and I sewed this up using a really nice sand wash knit fabric. This t-shirt is super oversized, and honestly I never wore it, not once. Hung in my closet last year after I recorded the video on it. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it from the moment that I made it because oversized tees are not my thing. I tried wearing a belt with it. I tried doing the tuck thing, the half tuck thing with it. Just didn't like it. So I decided my first project for Sew Frugal 23 would be to remake this top so that I actually wear it. Because that's being super frugal. Wearing what you've got in your closet. So I didn't have any extra fabric to do anything with, and instead I lay the top down and thought about what could I cut out of this that would make it fit better. This top has super drop sleeves. It's got this nice round neckline. This particular pattern has a very nice technique for finishing the back neckline and the shoulder seams, so I didn't want to get rid of that. I realized that a ready-to-wear top that I had in my closet that I liked, a batwing top, would actually fit within the confines of the shape of this top. So all I did is I just cut around the ready-to-wear top and stitched this up. Now this doesn't have perfect bat wings because it's got the drop sleeves, but I did add some more shape to it and I cut off a lot of the length and I'm much happier with it. I'm gonna pop it up here so you can see it while I talk about it. Now I know there are big drag lines from the bust and that's just the nature of this type of top. I did try adding darts and it didn't help at all. It's no better, no worse. So I thought, this is just gonna be the way that it is. I will wear this likely underneath a jacket or a sweater most of the time, but it is so much more wearable now. It could be a little bit bigger, or maybe I could move around a little bit more because it does kind of catch on my butt. But gosh, I like this shape a lot better than the other one. So, first project for Sew Frugal 23 was remaking my Sew Frugal 22 top so I would actually wear it. As I told you in my Sew Frugal Plans video, I set 3 little rules for myself, guidelines. The first was that whatever I make has to work within my current capsule/travel wardrobe plans. Second, it has to be colors that are in my color scheme. And third, something stylistically different. I'm getting into a rut of sewing the same shapes all the time and it's time to try something new. What better time than when I'm using fabric from my stash in a free pattern? So I've got 2 makes to show you. The first one meets criteria 1 and 2, but it does not meet criteria 3 because it's a very similar shape to patterns that I've used in the past. It's the right color, it'll work with the capsule wardrobe, but it is very similar to what I've made in the past. But I was having trouble deciding my main Sew Frugal make, and while I was thinking and pondering, because I am totally a paralysis by analysis person, while I was trying to decide what to make for my main make, I thought, I'm just gonna try something else. So I pulled out the Forget Me Not Vera pattern, which is a free pattern. I mentioned it in the previous video. And this one was highlighted to me by someone either on Instagram or here who said, this is a lot like the Maven Somerset, but it doesn't have the bateau neckline. Maven Somerset has a bateau neckline and bishop sleeves. I've made it a few times. And I wanted to try something without the bateau neckline. So this was recommended to me. Now, one of viewers, Tina, mentioned that she had looked pretty closely at this pattern and she found that there might be an issue with drafting the sleeves. So I just want to make you all aware of that. When Tina made that comment, I had already sewn it. And you know that I'm kind of ignorant about some of these things. I don't know if there's a problem or not. You tell me when you see me wearing it. So the fabric that I used for this is a lovely teal bamboo. And this is super lightweight. I've never worked with bamboo fabric before. And I bought this at RayStitch in London in, I think, 2018. I loved the color, and this bamboo is so soft. It's very lightweight. One of the reasons this stayed in my stash for so long is that I know fabrics like this really cling to every bump and jiggle. Now I think that this particular pattern, the bodice of it, kind of swoops over things pretty well so it doesn't catch too much. So I'm going to pop up a picture, a little video of me wearing it. And this has the V neckline, which is how it's drafted. And then it's got the bishop sleeves. I struggled sewing this fabric because it is so lightweight. And I was complaining to one of my Instagram friends who sews a lot of bamboo. And she said, oh yeah, I just use a wash away stabilizer. Well, I didn't have any of that. And by that time I was really done. She said, but it's worth all the extra work because it feels so good on the body. And at that point in time, I was really kind of mad at the project because I'd just finished doing the neckband. But once I got it on, oh my gosh, I understand. This fabric feels just wonderful on the body. I think that it drapes really nicely, and I believe I will be wearing it quite a bit. I've worn it to work a couple of times. So I'm just... My third and final make, and this is the real Sew Frugal make, because this one ticks off all 3 boxes. It's in my colors, it will work with my wardrobe, and it's a style that is different for me. Something new. The pattern that I decided to use for this one is the Mood Karri top, which is a woven top with a round neckline, a keyhole opening, tulip sleeves, dropped waist, peplum, and a belt. I had originally planned to use a piece of chambray colored Challis that I got at Fabric Mart, the one with the lace print, but I decided that it was just going to be not right for this. It wasn't going to drape very well, a little bit too heavy. So instead I dug through my stash and I found something else. This is the wee tiny remnant of the fabric, and this is also a Challis, but it's a much lighter weight one. Cornflower blue with white leaves. And I got this at Olga's Fabric Lane last year with the intention of sewing a Love Notions Rhapsody with it. But I thought I'd try it for this because I thought it might just be right for this pattern, and it was perfect. Absolutely the perfect fabric for this. One of the two reasons why this was right for this top. It's super drapey and lightweight, and with you'll see on the top, with the sleeves and the peplum, you need something lightweight and drapey. And the fabric looks very similar on the right side and the wrong side. So this is the right side, and this is the wrong side. And on the sleeves, you do see the wrong side, so you don't want to have anything where the fabric looks distinct on the inside. The pattern. I've got a whole list of comments about this pattern. And I don't know if these issues would come up in other mood-free patterns. Perhaps they won't, but this is my only experience with mood. So I'm going to go through them all pretty quickly. So this is a free downloadable pattern, and when you download the pattern, all you download are the pattern pieces. There are no downloadable instructions that I could find. So when you look at the instructions, you have to have your phone or your iPad or your computer around. That said, the instructions are so brief, you can commit them to memory pretty quickly. Second problem. Well, first one wasn't a problem. The problem, the instructions are so brief, you can commit them to memory. That's fine if you have a lot of experience sewing, but if you don't, you will be frustrated by this. Get some help or learn how to do things like French seams before you jump in on this one. There are no finished garment measurements, so I just went with my bust measurement. Of course, it's a loose enough top, but still, I kind of wanted the shoulders to fit, things like that. There is no pattern layout, so you just kind of have to figure that out on your own. I had just over 2 meters of 140 centimeter wide fabric. So that's about 2.1 yards of 55-inch wide fabric. The pattern called for 2 yards of 60-inch fabric. I had to piece together the peplum pieces and the belt pieces. There was not enough fabric. Maybe it's because I sewed a larger size. However, the fabric requirements should be inclusive for all sizes. Let's see here. What else? The sleeves. The sleeves are perplexing when you put them together. Once you figure them out, they're okay. But I spent a fair bit of time sorting them out, and I put them in wrong at least a couple of times. So when I got it right, I recorded a little video that I've popped up right here showing how they go together. They kind of wrap around the sleeve 1.5 times. But you have to make sure that you have the right part of the sleeve hanging in the front.
The sleeve is a little bit confusing. So this is the sleeve pattern piece, and you do a rolled hem all the way around here to there. This is going to be the inseam of the sleeve, so this will be around the back, and then this wraps all the way around, and there's your sleeve opening.
I thought that the arm size were way too deep, and maybe that's because of the style of sleeves, but the arm side came to like here. And I don't know if that's the way it should be. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be drafted. I don't know. Sewing notes, French seams everywhere, rolled hem on the sleeves and the peplum. I used my rolled hem foot on my machine. It worked very well. This fabric was perfect for that type of hem finish. I think my heavier fabric, I would have been fighting with it. The pattern suggests that you can use a rolled hem or a narrow hem for the neck edge. I didn't think a rolled hem would look right on that. So I used a narrow hem. It didn't look very good, so I wound up unpicking it and hand stitching the neck edge. Now it looks really flat. It lies nicely. There's the keyhole opening in the back. Magically, I had a rhinestone encrusted hook and eye that I was able to use for that. Now I won't be opening and closing it because I don't need to. This is so loose on my neck that I can just drop it on, and if my hair's short enough, you'll see the little hook and eye. This pattern took a lot longer to sew than I thought it would. All in, I spent a total of 10 hours on this, from taping the pattern together to sorting out, cutting it out, everything. 10 hours on this. There was a fair bit of hand sewing. There was a lot of unpicking with the sleeves, with redoing the neck. Now that it's all done, I know I picked the right fabric for this. I put the top on last night, and I went into my husband and I said, what do you think? And he is always very honest. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. And he said, it looks like a nice casual top. And I asked him, does this make me look bigger? And he will be honest about this, I think. And he said, no, I don't think so. So you have to tell me what you think. I haven't liked peplum tops in the past. Most of the time they were a lot more fitted and I thought they made me look short-waisted. But this one with the dropped waist, I think it looks okay. I will be adding belt carriers to the side. I'll just crochet some because it's easy for the belt to get out of alignment and then the peplum doesn't lie evenly. I would say that I will definitely try a mood pattern again, but I'll be prepared to have to do some extra work. Well, the pattern's free. I guess you have to do some extra work sometimes. This top will be worn to dinners, maybe out for lunch. It's not something I'd wear to work, but it's certainly something I'd go out in when I want to feel a little bit dressed up, but not overly dressed up. It's something that will go on holidays. It will have to be certainly hand washed and drip dried, and we'll see how creased it looks after that. But I think this is going to be a nice piece for my spring wardrobe. And those are my 3 makes for Sew Frugal 2023. For me, this was a really rewarding challenge to participate in because I took a good look at what I have in my stash. There are several items that I know I probably will never sew because the colors just aren't right for me, and I can just wrap those up and be prepared to donate them somewhere sometime. I also found some new patterns that I liked and some patterns that I will really consider for the future. If you participated in Sew Frugal, I hope that you also had a positive experience. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you soon.